The Zacks rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks rank buys.
There's a couple of more interesting companies that are on the growth and income radar, at least the radar of our income investor editor, Brian Hamilton, who's here with me. So you've isolated two pretty interesting companies here. One is Illinois Tool Works.
Yes. Illinois Tool Works reported earnings yesterday, January 24th, where they beat the Zacks consensus earnings and revenue estimate for the second consecutive quarter. Revenues were up 7%, but EPS was up 17%. What the company has been really focused on lately is improving their organic revenue growth. And in the most recent earnings report, they saw 6 of the 7 sectors show really nice organic growth. They were actually almost double what they had previously expected.
Wow.
But what was really important coming out of their earnings announcements were two major things coming out of there. First, the company increased their EPS guidance for fiscal year 2018 by 40 cents from the midpoint from the previous guidance. And secondly, that they were going to increase their dividend payment. Now, they had previously announced that they were going to make a dividend payment increase in August, but they're accelerating that now. It previously was going to be 43% of free cash flows. They bumped it to 50% of free cash flows. And management cited a couple of interesting objects for this. First being the new tax plan to enable them to increase the dividend. But they also said the domestic economy and the global economy are really nice growth prospects for them because Illinois Tool Works has a lot of international exposure. And earlier this week, we saw the Eurozone, Germany, India, and Japan all post really strong PMIs, giving us a really strong world growth picture going forward. Now, all this fantastic news is increased analyst estimates, but I really want to show you something more interesting here is our agreement page here. We have unanimous agreement across the board on the upside, which is really important because every once in a while you get like a one going down, they don't see it as well.
Sure.
Everybody's seeing it in a positive, which obviously has increased the estimates over the last several weeks for the next 2 quarters and the next 2 years. Now, also, the company is going to be paying us a solid 1.8% annual dividend, which is going to be increasing in August. But we also have to take in consideration a really other big piece of news that's going to be impacting the company, which is next week's President Trump's $1.7 trillion infrastructure plan. Now, this plan is supposed to be over a 10-year period of time, so this could be a really long-term growth driver for the company.
So we can infer at this point that more people are going to be needing tools anyway. Oh,
they do more than tools, but yeah, it's a lot. They're going to have their fingers in so many different parts of the infrastructure plan, but we're also not just on a domestic side here because the PMI is a Purchasing Managers Index. All these products need to be made and to be drilled, and and these are specialized things that Illinois Tool Works does.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing this as a global aspect. We're also seeing it as domestic, and this is not looking as a short term because this growth is expected to continue through 2019.
Okay, that's a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a look at Target at #1 strong buy.
Yeah, the retail sector as a whole has really bounced back in Q4.
That was surprising.
Oh, yeah, especially after the dismal, 6-8 quarters of the retail, sector just, taking it, basically, and that. So, but Target, it wasn't an exception. Now, the management recently pre-announced their Q4 earnings, which are coming out in early February, and they were telling us how well November and December sales were. Now, comparable store sales were supposed to come in at flat to 2%. They came in at 3.4%. Now, management cited increased store traffic and their digital online presence as the big factors for the uptick. Now, management has been really focused on their omni-channel and their digital presence, obviously, because they're having to deal with the Amazons of the world. But because it's doing so well, management actually increased fiscal year 2018 EPS guidance, and they're expecting digital sales to improve by a little over 25%. So this is a big boon for the company, especially how much time and effort they put into it. Now they're adding some bells and whistles to their online content, but this is going to be a really nice growth driver for the company going forward. Now, whenever you increase estimates and you do better than expected, analyst estimates increase. But just like Illinois, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's a little weeding out of that sector going on with many of the big name stores announcing store closures.
Right. Now, Target only closed 1 store last quarter while they opened up, a ton more, and they're actually expected to open up another a little more than 350 stores next year, and they're expected to be remodeling a bunch of their stores as well. So they're not really the ones getting hit on that store closure aspect. Because
what I was getting at is maybe the weeding out is another contributing factor to help them.
Oh yeah, and well, that's also their products and and their online aspect as well. But once the competition, they're grabbing more of that what you call market share as well.
Right.
So overall, it's great news. But this has a company has a very similarity to Illinois Toolwork. If we look at the agreement here, we can see that we have, once again, unanimous agreement on the upside, which is really important, as we explained before. And we have increasing earnings estimates for the next 2 quarters and the next 2 years. Now, to add on to this great growth story for Target, they pay a 3.23% annual dividend yield as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have
For
a nice
retailer, that's big.
It's very big. So we have a nice growth story, and the really big area of them is their focus on their digital platform, which has really started to get some traction as of late.
All right, do you own either of these two?
No, I do not personally, but I have Illinois Toolworks in the income investor portfolio.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for that. And don't forget, more stock information, not only on these 2 companies, but on a host of other companies, on our website, zacks.com. All you need to do to check it all out, get over to the homepage. With Brian, I'm Terry Ruffalo.